Ariana. Now, this summer, Ariana worked on a 3-joint robotic arm, so it's pretty similar to the previous project we just saw, but Ariana really took it in a really amazing new direction, and I think that's what you see in a lot of these projects. I had so much fun working with Ariana. I genuinely think she's one of the smartest kids I've met this summer. It was just so much fun working with her, and I remember this one time that I went over to her and she was really adding a new modification. And she was like, oh, I don't really know what to do. She's like, oh, this is not working, so what should I do? I was like, and just as I was about to speak, like, oh, maybe you should try this. She's like, okay, I got it. She's like, didn't even need any help. Like, just knew what to do. She has like a great understanding of robotics and it's her entire project. And I had so much fun working with her. She was the only one head bobbing to the music playing in class, so I was like, okay, at least Ariana likes my music, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, it was so much fun. I'm so excited for you guys to see her project. So here's Ariana.
Hello everybody, I'm Ari and I'm an incoming 8th grader at Gardner Middle School. I chose the 3-joint robotic arm because I have a similar Lego robotic arm at home where I built a few years ago, and I thought it would be cool to see how it would be different if it was controlled by a circuit and joysticks instead of crank manual. So here's the preview of how it works. So it's controlled by these two joysticks, and the left joystick controls the base and the second joint. So it goes left and right, and the joint 2 goes up and down. Joint 3, the right joystick also controls joint 3 and the claw, so up and down and goes up. Yeah. And it's also called a 3-joint robotic dancing arm. And so one of the modifications that I did were these 2 buttons here. And when you press these buttons, it dances. I made 2 of these buttons, and when you press it again, it stops with a boolean dance on function. There's another. This is the second dance, which is personally my favorite. So. Yeah. So those were my 2 modifications. While I was building the robot, some challenges I faced were one of my this piece broke off, and I had to replace it with a new robotic arm part. And once I was done, I moved on to my coding section. And once I was done coding, I realized something really vital to my robot. When the claw was fully closed, none of the servos worked. And what I discovered is the claw was trying to go farther than it physically can go. And it was stuck in this continuous loop and blocking all the other motors from moving. So what I did was I created a barrier and made the claw stop at a certain degree, so it doesn't go past it. So it can't go greater than 175 degrees and less than 0 degrees. So once I was done with coding, I worked on my modifications, which were my 2 dances. First, I tried to use this joystick button right here on both of the joysticks, but when I was testing the joystick, the button was outputting 0 the entire time, and I realized that it wasn't going to work. So I used these 2 buttons instead, and they work perfectly fine with my bot. So what I learned here at Bootcamp is all about circuits, mostly about Yeah.
I guess what was your favorite part of the project?
I like coding the robot. I do C++. It wasn't too hard for me, and it was really fun to like have these minor achievements as I go along. Like, oh, the big circle is working, and like, oh my gosh, the dance is actually